What is up, everyone? We're live, and we're gonna do something a little different. We're just gonna play. We're just gonna play. There's no specific Title Tuesday or anything of that nature. We're just gonna play against people my rating. We're just gonna pick on people my own size here on chess.com, and we're gonna try to get that rating, which currently sits at 2661. To 2700. We want to be a chess.com super GM. What's up, NW11? Congrats on the milestone. Thank you. What milestone? I've been over 27 before, but right now, as you can see here, 2661, and I'm just like, that just seems a little frustrating. So let's just play with y'all, and we're gonna see if we can pick up some points. Let's look for a game. So let's look for a 3-2 game. Let's look for a 5-0 game. My stream notification said 5,000 subs. On YouTube, I am at about 11K. I really need to update that stream notification, my bad. But thank you. Okay, we're looking for a game here. It's actually hard to find a game on chess.com. I might have to go to just 3-0. Okay, there we got a game. Immediately. And we got our Bushgas Gambit against an IM from China. Ooh. What dish is this exactly? I don't know. Alright. Strikes with c3, d4. We take that pawn. ed5 transposes something equal. This is a nice endgame for us. We've covered this on the channel. And we're chilling here. We are chilling. Queen e2. So I recall is not the best. I think the play is here check. And even queen e7. Knight f6 is also fine. I'm surprised bishop d2 actually didn't come. Queen e7 hits the knight. But this... Okay. Let's check knight c6. We're fine. I want to just castle. Not letting this queen just free the bishop is kind of my point. And yeah, they're down the pawn, so they have to deal with that knight anyway. I think this is an additional pawn. I mean, check here, c6. No, there's no reason I can't just take this out of the Bushgas Gambit. We might be winning almost with this. Both knights seem very difficult to defend. What's up, Bob? Kazan, Kolok, welcome in, everyone. Yeah, we got him here. We really do. Something I'd like to do is maybe we can get some music. Queen c4. Okay, wait, that's doable, because takes. They're fine. Takes, queen takes. I mean, they're down 2 pawns. It's a generous definition of fine. It's 2 pawns. Pretty cleanly. But okay, we can't get checkmated. Alright, let's just swap the queens then. Take. Knight. Ooh, that's loud now, isn't it? You're right, I don't need these yet. Let's not hang this guy. Knight d5 seems good. And is that a 3rd pawn for William? Potentially. They're going to have to work hard to get this guy. And this one. Don't get trapped. I thought I had this more easily than I do. So, okay, let's just castle. Rook c1, we have knight a4. Alright, let's pick up the pace. Trade, take. Yeah, right now it's 3 pawns. Okay. What do you got here? Trying to make it a little bit spicy. Let's just defend a check. Maybe this was actually a better move. This was a better move. Just no rook d6. But even still, there's not a lot here. I guess just go. Not really sure. Oh. Check, fork. Oh, the rook takes. It's kind of. Oh man. Messed that up, didn't I? Oh, actually, wait. Okay. No, no. Oh. Oh. Christ.
4, 3.
Oh,
2,
what? Where did the bishop go?
1.
That was crazy. That's tough. That's tough. Oh, that's tough. 3-0 is not my thing. Okay. Yeah, something went wrong around here. I mean, I went check, and then this just traded to a dead draw. I think just b3 is simplest. Let's see. Yeah, b3 minus 6. And this is dead draw. b3, because there's no rook b4 in any case, right? So even take, and here I win, taking the rook and going. So, yeah, I think the pawn is actually just completely unstoppable. I think that was just the main line. Okay. Oh well, oh well, oh well. Alright, next game. Can I get... I never get a 3-2. Or a 5-0. McMaster HD with the sub. Guy with the $5 super chat donation. Appreciate it. Love your repertoire. Great content. You are my chess spirit animal. That is so sweet. I appreciate you. And the Gambit chads. It's stuff like that why I do what I do. Yeah, I mean, I love coming up with the new stuff. Here, let's blockade this pawn. And try to attack it. I'm so glad y'all like it. Can you teach me? Yeah, actually, you can message me on Discord if you're interested in private lessons. I have a couple openings, potentially. So feel free to message me. Sorry, this box is too big. There we go. There we go. I think I had this exact position, actually, until Tuesday, and the move was Queen E2, and I didn't play it. I think I recall analyzing this exact position. So check to cause some sort of annoyance here, blockading this. Bishop E6 is a no-go. And otherwise, you can put something on E7. Queen trade is very pleasant for me, structurally, against this pawn. Bishop there just relieves some tension on the knight. And yeah, as long as I hold the blockade here, this pawn just stays. So I could play F3, which is the easiest thing to do. Could also play Queen D2. The downside is this bishop, right? Alright, let's be a good boy. Let's play Queen D2. I think my concern is a knight coming here. Like, you know, if it starts making that journey, whatever will we do? Could go long. Could go short. Let's go short. So, bishop can come here, knight can come here. I have like a resource like knight f5. It could be a good move. Targeting the bishop and also this pawn. Something like trade queen d4 is interesting. Honestly, I like here... Okay, for now, let's just play a3. If bishop a5, yeah, I was going to come back, knight b3. This is quite solid. And now I'm going after this important dark square bishop, and this pawn is hit a number of times. Not easy to defend. It's an isolated pawn. It can't be defended by a fellow pawn. And pawns are weak if they're blockaded, right? Like, if a pawn can just be pushed at any moment, then it's a strength. That's the danger of pawns, as they get close to the end. But if a pawn is just stuck there, then... And that depends on other resources in the position. But if a pawn is just stuck where it is, then I can arrange an attack. I can put the knight there, I can put the bishop there, I can put the bishop here, eliminating this. If this can never move, then I'm pointing at it. But then once it moves, then none of those pieces attack it anymore. Appreciate all the stuff. Alexis Daniel with the sub. From Guy, found you recently and how in-depth you go into Gambits has helped huge considering I already played most of them. I love that. What's your favorite Gambit? Which ones do you like playing? So my queen here, I mean, literally only has these two spots. Let's go to d3. I mean, I think I'm rerouting the bishop to a more useful spot, but it's fine. I play queen e2 there. d4. I don't want to allow d4. Okay, this makes some sense coming here. I mean, my point was I would put the queen on d4 potentially. It's kind of actually annoying. Knight c6. Do I have a square? Do I have to just go back? I could... No, I'll probably come to a4 in that case. But you know what they did? Yeah, they found themselves... They found themselves an f3 square. I probably should have included this. Okay, I have to take it. That was forked. Otherwise, let's try to... Well, first let's start with, like, king h2, so that, like, the queen doesn't get there. Knight d2 drives you away, forces the knight trade. I mean, there's a lot to be said for putting a knight on d4. But, you know, the knight on e4 is kind of annoying, so let's do this. Actually, no. I do like this. Queen d3. Let's put the knight on d4. Deals with c2 as well. I think also now any bishop move. So there shouldn't be many problems on my king. I think we should be fine. Also, what's the time control here? Oh, it's 3-2. It's 3-2. Okay. So there's increment. In this game, do I just grab it? This is kind of a really interesting question. I think I should. Let's be really greedy here. Like, knight d4 is the principled move, but we're grabbing it with tempo here. Ooh, my guy forgot about this. I was just going to really come back, knight d4. I think I had a pretty solid position as these things go. Here, my queen is attacked, and h3 as well. And probably bring that in, but not before something like rook e1. I think it might be hard to stay on here. Well, I was going to play bishop d4. Maybe not bishop d4, actually, because of this move. Alright, let's play... I was considering knight d4. Alright, king g2. This pawn, but then I was going to go here. Let's just be really simple. Let's force the queens off the board. Just gonna be really simple. And this is actually interesting. What a move, knight a1. And we've actually trapped the rook. So that worked out. Ahead. No, don't take on b6. Okay, let's take away this move. It's gonna get forked, right?
5.
Maybe I could have just mated him. Let's just go here. God bless increment. Just allows me a moment to think.
4, 3, 2, 4.
I was looking for some cute checkmate there.
2, 4, 3, 5.
Just gonna be simple.
4, 3, 5.
I think takes here, the problem was actually some stalemate tricks of like takes f2.
4, 3, 5.
So we're just
4,
winning this real
5.
clean. Just real clean and principled. No tricks. Ah, good game there. Good game. Yeah, I mean, what happened here... Sorry about that. But we gave this check. I think this was, like, honestly quite well played. I mean, I can run it. But we gave this check here, and it's very bothersome because we're playing against this isolated queen pawn here. So we've got, like, a lot of pressure. And we hold this d4 blockade pretty well. This was nice that we got that dark square bishop. I think it came a little annoying with knight e5. Obviously, that's not what I wanted. I mean, maybe I should go queen e1 then, because it's hard to find a square otherwise. That way, like, knight e5, if my queen's not attacked, then I'll just play g4. And okay, structurally, this is everything I'm looking for in the position. But okay, this comes... I mean, honestly, it's fine. Like, I grabbed this a7 pawn. I mean, that was the big difference in the game. But I think I'm up a pawn here with a really nice position anyway. And then, yeah. Maybe my opponent just played this out, but it was an extra rook. Okay, 85 accuracy. Nice. Von Hennig, awesome. Awesome, awesome. No, I love that. Alright, yeah, let's keep it going, guys. Let's play another... So we're at 2660. 2660. Current rating. Alright, let's request a 3-2 game. Let's request a 5-0 game. Here, let's add a little text box here that just keeps track of my current rating on this goal. How do I add that little text box? Where's the little text? Okay, well, I'll do it next game. Alright, this is a 3-2. What's up, Exclaimer? Hassan? You're stuck at 2950 elo. Any advice? Hi, Magnus. Thanks for entering my chat. This is the same opening as last game. I'll mix it up. I'll do something different. This one can be fun because I have ideas of like Rook E1 and giving this knight. I'll show you what I mean. Although they're playing really solidly. They never played for B5, actually. They never put a bishop here. So, okay. Alright, well, let me just play D4 in one move. Never had to play D3. I could have played D3, F4, but we have like a Sicilian here. My opponent playing very solidly. I'm looking for this resource, though. I'm hunting for it. But they're very aware of that. They're not doing any of the stuff. They played it in actually a really solid way. They played it in a very solid way. Indeed. So, okay. How to proceed from here? Let's just bring knight back. Seems a little counterproductive against my rook, but I know they wanted knight c6 and to make this trade. I know this is a strange idea. It's probably too strange. Alright, let's just play it with bishop e3. Perhaps this move. Perhaps this move is interesting. So e5, they can play it. It'll change the structure a little bit. It's totally an option. But I'm looking to put some pressure on d6. It's kind of the only thing I can attack right now. e5, I'll play it, and then I'll look for the d5 square. F4? Yeah, I mean, I could have played with F4. Pawn F4. Before or after D3, I could. But it's like, you know, how do I really go from there? Alright, coming in here, potentially. Could play B3, could wait on it. Let's play Queen C1. Let's get out of the way of this. They're looking for this. Alright, the question is, do I play with B3 here? I like Rook D3. I think this rook is doing nothing here, honestly. So we're going to go here, and I'll play B3 only at the moment where I feel like I have enough pressure on D6. But my opponent's doing a really good job with their pieces. Also, my opponent's played really well, honestly. It's kind of annoying. Looking for an idea. Knight D4, they're going to move it. B3, they're going to move it. And then begs the question, how do I create a problem in my opponent's position? I kind of want to know what they're going to do. Like make a move. I don't know. What are you going to do? Do you want to break in the middle? They don't know either. Alright, let's see if we can expand over here. I think this is nice. Gives my bishop rope. It wasn't obvious that my bishop had a square after e5, actually. I think could have been the point of h6. Also, I mean, it doesn't work for sure. I don't have enough pieces there. Also, knight takes b2. That's a problem. Alright, let's come back. That's a move. Brings f4 into consideration. I think my opponent could have proceeded. I think a5, b4 is actually the most annoying idea. Alright, so they don't want me to play f4. Are you running low on squares? Well, b3 actually... No, you have knight 5. Let's play king f1. Weird move. But a move. And it's also kind of necessary that I have f4, or else this was going to be really annoying on my queen. Okay, don't get mated. This is kind of interesting. Really weird idea. Really weird idea. But we didn't get mated. Now they're putting pressure here. But now I have knight d4. It seems annoying. The bishop needed b7 if it wanted to stay here. And now I'm going to take that bishop. If you come off, do I have e5? Do I have e5? Oh, you're willing to give me that. Okay. I'm not sold on it. Let me first play f4. e5, because, like, here... Does my... Oh! That's a blunder. That has to be a blunder. e5. My king on f1, defending the bishop. Because we took that light square bishop. Now e5. Yes! They just stepped right into the line of fire. They just stepped right into e5, creating a double threat. Let's go! Yes! Yes! Oh, we got him. Bishop g1, bishop g2. The powerful bishops here. It was the power of the bishops in that direction that did him in. Alright, let's play like e4 or something. It's 3 plus 2. 3 plus 2. Maybe b3 and queen b2 is an interesting idea. Well, let's not hang this. g5, well, no, I don't want anything opening onto my king. So probably rook f3. There's nothing on the d file anymore. Right? Okay, yeah, I was going to do that anyway. My rook gets attacked. There we go. Now this is protected. f5, e5 is not what I want. But g5 could be... No, they don't really have any ideas either. Let's go... Okay, queen a1. I mean, it's really obvious what my point is. But... Okay, b3 is fine. Let's not lose this pawn, though. d2 to defend it. I guess they wanted e5, so let's get off of that with tempo. Let's move our king to a normal spot. I don't like it on f1. Thinking something here. Oh. Rook f7. No need to calculate all that. Let's just be normal. Alright, so they're trying to come at me, but we got the king to a much better spot. I mean, honestly, now queen a1.
2, 4.
Right? h5.
3, 5.
A lot of pressure here now. Pieces are working well together. How do you defend this?
4, 3, 2, 4.
Knight h7? I do have takes even.
3.
It's not necessary,
2,
but I'll just do it.
4.
Oh no, I don't have knight f6 check anymore. Oh my god, the knight's here now. That was really stupid. I thought I had knight f6 check.
3, 4.
Okay. Whoops.
3, 2, 4.
Wait, that was so stupid. I just literally just gave the piece back whole.
5, 4, 3, 5.
To defend this.
4, 3, 5. 4, 3, 5. 4.
Ah, yes. No, you have knife 8. Oh my god.
5.
This.
4, 3, 5.
Rook G8. Oh, I did not see that.
3, 2, 4,
Queen E7 want to move.
3,
Oh.
5, 4, 3, 5,
Yes. Success. I actually missed mate in 2, but
4, 3, 2, 3,
that was
2,
fine.
4, 3, 5,
This is a wild one.
4, 3, 5.
Rook E6. Yes. Whew. Wow. Yo. Tough. Tough, 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 tough. Okay. Wow, we pulled that out, though. We pulled that out, and we're at 2665. Let's go. We are at 2665. We can have a look at that. I'm trying to add a text box to keep track of my rating. Oh, text. Okay. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. Here we are. Blitz rating. 2665. Yeah, the countdown was crazy. It is annoying, but it's, like, super helpful, obviously. This game... Oh, my God. It went south really quickly. This is, like, almost -1 out of the opening. So, this was not it. It wanted me to just take it on c6. So, it's saying, like, bishop e3, castles... Like, do something. a4... My opponent played this really solid. Like, did I miss an opportunity? Typically, I have some fun... No, this is all fine. Yeah, they played a really solid... They played a really solid way. Okay, next game. It's possible, it's possible. Let's look for this. Let's look for this. Welcome in, everyone. Watching my games is not good for your heart. Playing my games is not good for my heart. Alright, we're playing Victus. Knight f3. Let's play c5. I mean, a really lame way of playing, for sure. We're gonna double fianchetto against this, maybe? This is an interesting idea. I could just should probably just play knight f6. Yeah, I should probably just play knight f6. Souls. Yeah, I mean, just kind of a normal position here. My opponent played a really chill opening. They literally just went here, here, here. They did build a stake in the center just to put a pawn on d4. No advantage for white. Not like I have an advantage either. I have nothing to do with my knight other than put it here. So I will play for e5 in this position. Just sent me a friend request and join Discord. Nice. Yeah, everyone join up on the Discord. It's an awesome server. Let me put the microphone closer to my face. Is this good? Is the audio good right here? Love the community. Sharing opening ideas, sharing games, just talking chess. Yeah, if you just like play chess and it's like a thing you do, but you kind of would like a community around that, or even wouldn't like a community around that, you should. And this is a great one. Could play bishop h8. You're just able to share just your day-to-day in chess. I stepped out of the way. But yeah, and also get notified when I go live, post new videos. Audio's great, nice. And the opening ideas is my favorite part because that's my favorite part of what I do. And we're blazing new trails. And it's not just me, it's all you guys. Alright, for the first time, maybe there's something sort of happening in this game if I can open this up. I think I just messed up here. I just trade here and now CD4, yeah? CD4 and we're winning something. We are winning something. Look at that. Let me open up here. Stream beats. Alright. Let me know if you guys like the music. Yeah, I mean, they were like throwing stuff here, but as if there was some sort of attack. There's no attack. I don't know how many moves you need here in order to create one single solitary threat. Otherwise, I mean, like knight d5 might even be a better way of taking this pawn. I don't know. Trade queens, knight b5. Am I losing this? No. Do you know why? So, because we trade here, knight b5, rook c5. Knight takes a7, rook a8. And we've got it trapped. Two clean pawns. Two clean pawns. This is also like a huge problem. Like, I should be able to win a piece somehow. I don't know how to attack this though. Some move. I don't know. Everything's super solid. Everything's defended real nice. But yeah, the way we win endgame once we're up a pawn is we look to push them. I mean, trades are good. Trades make pushing them even easier. Seems good. Let's just play b5 so the knight's not distracted by anybody. But yeah, rook c2, and what you want here is both rooks getting to the second rank, right? I guess e5. So what happens if everybody trades? Rook takes. I think their problem there is knight g4 at the end of that line. If they realized they couldn't play it. Rook c2, I guess they want rook a3. I could just play rook a4 first if I want. Or knight c5 here is winning this pawn, I think, pretty cleanly. Alright, let's play rook a4. Knight c5. The point was there. Let's play this. Yeah, it's all good. Here. So e5, take. Rook takes, knight g4 is my point. Maybe now rook c2. I think I could have just piled up on this, though. But yeah, the point is, anytime the rook steps here, I do have knight g4, which is going to attack the rook and this bishop. Yeah, I think they had to undo this. I mean, this was ugly for them. Maybe I just even take away their one idea completely. Now what? Now I'm also using a couple more pieces. This pawn should be toast. Simply just allow absolutely no counterplay. Playing for e5. I mean, there is no e5, though. If we trade everything, I think this knight hangs. Yeah. I mean, there's very little we have to trade for this knight to hang, honestly. It hangs right now. Oh, there's no increment here, so let's just be quick. But yeah, I mean, a really clean win, honestly. Nice. Yeah, I mean, what can I really say about this game? Not much happened in the opening. My priorities was good spots for the bishops, especially if the center was closed. I didn't want to take because I felt like that helped them. So I played this move b6, which was just in time for my bishop to actually challenge what would be a very good bishop for them. Now otherwise they just trade. So, you know, they really had nothing to do in the opening here, and now I'm trying to play e5 to create some space. You know, this is, I guess, an idea, and I say no, thank you. Rook e8 was a move I was playing anyway to support e5. I mean, they just, like, this is just a ridiculous move. I don't really know what to say. Not only because this is hanging, but there's no attack here, and, you know, this piece was buried in the game. So we just win a couple pawns. We don't hang this one. Rook a8 traps the knight. So just nice, easy stuff here. Just putting lots of pressure, improving my pieces. Like, look how pretty every single one of my pieces is right now. Every single one of my pieces is attacking something. You know, we built pressuring e4, or this knight here that I moved, you know, away from f6, just is actually working to stop e5. So here, like, I'm winning a3 at minimum, and then these pawns just roll with really no resistance. In the game they played e5, it was the one thing they could do, but it just immediately hangs a knight. So, like, there's really not much to say here for white's position. So we just, yeah, it's a good chess game. Alright, we are now 2669. Let's update that text box. How do I do it? 2669. I feel like we can play higher rated opponents though. My opponent was 2491. Thank you, Chess Kryptonite, for the sub. GG, bad play from me. Oh, that was my opponent. Alright, yeah, good game. We have to grind down that end game. No worries, you didn't blunder or anything. Alright, 5-0 game against an Italian FIDE master here. What just happened to you in the chess.com chat during game? Every time you get low on time, my hairline recedes by 1 millimeter. It's a good comment. How's mine doing? Oh, yeah, this is a Goring Gambit, by the way. Gambit class is on. Got a new one for right now. But my opponent tries to decline. I'll give them another opportunity to take a pawn. We like this. I was just playing a rapid game and I was losing in the end game. This is an interesting line. Takes, you actually lose something. You lose a piece. And I was losing in the endgame, and my opponent kept sending me provocative smiles to make me tilt. Then he made a few mistakes, and then I was winning, and then suddenly my profile was called strange by him. It needs to be reported and investigated. Yeah, I mean... Sorry about that, number one. But... like... I don't have higher expectations for people than that. I'm gonna be real. It's the internet. Mute the chat. People say awful stuff on the internet. So, yeah, what can I say? That is not to be unexpected, if we're being real. Alright, let's play knight c3 here. I think still knight takes d4, I have bishop takes e4. Pawn takes f3 is interesting to me, honestly. Okay, but they just take here, and that solves my d4 problem. Okay, I actually really quite like my position here. The one thing I don't want is this bishop coming to g6. What I could do is any bishop move actually threatens queen b1. Spicy move. So queen c2 is, I think, the obvious move here, because h6, and then it just frees my knight, and then it frees for f4. So I think queen c2, I have a very comfortable advantage. I can play that with rook b1. Option number 2 is like bishop f4. Because of the threat of queen b1 with the fork. Now, you know what? I would rather just play it like this. So, like, queen c2, it makes really good use of this c3 pawn, screening against this knight. That's a perfect distance. Yeah, this is actually a really pretty position. We're going to play some high-quality chess here. My next move is going to be with my knight. Or, like, I could throw in rook b1, but my next move is... with the knight out of the way. You know, honestly, I don't even mind a bishop takes f3, but I feel as though they're running short on squares. So let's do this, and I want to advance with f4. I think, yeah, f5 for them. No, they can't play it because I play f3 and I just eat this pawn. So this gives me a really, like, this is actually a gorgeous pawn structure. They can't do anything to me. The one pawn I'm missing is a beautiful pawn to be missing because it gives me some play there. So now f4, they want f5, as I understand it. g4. Yeah, f4, f5 is kind of annoying. Alright, let's throw this in while I think. It's still a pretty position. Yeah, it's a good idea. Alright, let's do it. Alright, I'm going to actually en passant and play for f5 and bring the bishop. Not sure if that was the most sound decision. But it's the one spot that... maybe bishop a3 here. Bishop a3 and then bring the knight to e5 actually had a lot of logic to it. It's okay. I like my little majority here. Looking for something... Okay. Yeah, this position's still nice. Gotta figure out something with you. Maybe this and then e5. After queen c2, was I not worried about bishop takes f3? No, and that was why I liked queen c2, because I was going to grab h7. Well, I mean, it actually raises the question, is there g6 at the end of that? Honestly, I wasn't that worried about that in general, because I had the g line. It was a very good question, though. Alright, bishop b5 here. I really want to use this square. That square is the key right now. For example, a6 and 85. Yeah, so if bishop a4, b5, that's a no-go. But I like this. Right, so if takes, I was just going to grab c6. And then hit him with pawn takes e5. Or bishop takes. Yeah, this is actually nice. Both recaptures here. Or no, I missed this. Oh, I missed this move. This check. That's annoying. Okay. I did miss that. F6 is not a resource in an endgame. I could just take it and take it. And I'm still a little bit better there. Maybe this is just really strong anyway. Is that so crazy? That would be the case? Bishop e5 and f6? Even just gambiting the c3 pawn? Because right now immediately... So, okay. Gambit glass is on. Accidental gambit. Like, I think I'm still better in this endgame, honestly. Like, the bishop comes back to e5, a6 becomes a target, rook b6, this bishop's still buried. But I like queens on here, because I think the bishop is so good on e5. Like, it's so good on e5. This is what I was going for. I like f5, working behind that pawn. Yeah, what a monster you are. What a monster. Pointing there, tying it down, right? They had to play queen d7, so there was no rook c1 winning that. Already, rook c1 was a good move. I mean... Well, okay, it was tied down here. So they played b5, just trying to free the rook a little bit. But now here comes f... Well, okay, let's be careful. f6, g5. It's not actually hanging this. f6, g5, h4. Honestly, good move here, rook b3. This is a good move. This is a really nice move. And, wow, what a gambit this was. This is overwhelming compensation for the pawn. They were worried about these queenside pawns. Also, this bishop is so good because you can't even give your rook for it. Because if you give your rook for it, what's even better than a bishop on e5 is a pawn on e5, which will also run you over, minus an exchange. So this rook's coming to g3. I don't even know how you defend this. Okay, they're preparing rook g8. They're preparing rook g8. I think that's about all they could do. We've got a lot of resources here, but let's be precise. So, okay, f6, g5, rook h3. Let's bring the rook to h3, because something we're threatening actually is takes g7 and queen takes h6. Oh wait, was this a 5-0 game? Ah, so I have no increment here with 25 seconds. That's fine. So takes, and mate. That would be cool. Otherwise, f6 also just, like, totally runs you over. Then they have no counterplay. Like, I don't even know you hang on after that. Yeah, this is brutal. f6 allowed g5, and the rook was protecting the pawn there from queen takes g5. Otherwise, the other pawn was pinned. But now queen takes is just going to be mate. Like, they missed this, but I don't... That's not why they lost the game. Queen h6 now, pre-move. You can go queen d6. I could play rook takes and win your queen, or even better, I could play pawn f6 and still checkmate you. This was just absolute domination of the dark squares here. This bishop on e5 was so good. They were worried about these pawns here. Yeah, let's play pawn f6. I mean, yeah, that was a try. Rook b6 because of their b5 move. They took my rook b3 idea. That was a nice one. Queen takes h3 they can play. If they want to not get mated immediately. No, but now they're getting mated immediately. Takes or checkmate on h8. Yeah, really nice game here. Really nice game. I like this one a lot. I like this one a lot. This is really how to attack. We really just, like, used all our pieces and just took away all their resources here. We just took away all their resources. I mean, this was just brutal. This was brutal. So this is what you get for declining my Gambit. They declined the Goring Gambit here. Yeah, they didn't take this pawn because this, you're actually losing this knight. That's kind of interesting, because if you take f3, I take back, right? So I ate a couple pieces there. And then this, I'm up a piece, I take the bishop. So they were careful there, bishop e7, ac3. But now here I'm much better. This is a +1 position here. It's +1. Here, f4, f5. And I went for en passant, which was fine. But yeah, wow, the position here is +2.4, guys. +2.4 or more. The top move, e takes f6 is the second move. Top move is g4, which is awesome. Here in f5. I was considering this. I did think after queen d7 they were holding it together. But I think, the point is I just need to press even more on this square. And the pawns are just going to roll them down. But, so this is just, like, it's just such a gorgeous structure. The c3, d4, e5. What a beautiful pawn chain. Locking out this knight. Right? That's the exact coloration against that knight, covering all the squares. And it guides the bishop down this diagonal. And I have lots of space. Like, that bishop is operating well, too. It's not like it's locked out by these pawns. Like, these pawns are free to push. The pawns point in the direction to play in. And the pawn I'm missing here gives me just, like, a nice little rook to b1 to throw in, which we brought in handy later in the game. Spoiler alert. Right? So, rook b8, f4, f5, en passant here. Nice move. Takes f5. Continue to go after them, and we bring our piece back into the game. They try to develop a little bit. I mean, the engine wanted g4, h4, which I do understand, because, like, this is just so solid. Right? You can imagine the pawn on b2. Then, okay, maybe black has something. They could try to attack d4. There's nothing they can attack. Like, it's just too solid. Here, even if I give them another move, there's no squares to use. So it gives me the time to go for something like this when you can not touch my king. Right? Like, I can push these pawns in front of my king, because how are you ever going to attack me? So, but anyway, bishop f4, that was kind of the point of me pushing pawn f5. And now, yeah, I mean, especially now with the queen off of this, now the engine's really telling me I should have gone for this, which makes a lot of sense. I was focused on this idea, knight e5, which was, so this actually ended up being an interesting gambit, right? So takes, I didn't see this move, so I didn't realize I was losing a pawn, which was kind of the issue. But otherwise, like, this would have been brutal. Either pawn takes or bishop takes for different reasons. But okay, they got a pawn for their troubles. Takes and queen takes c6. They should have played pawn takes c6 to at least, like, try to generate some trades, which wasn't an obvious move to make. Queen takes looks like you're going to swap queens. And yeah, the endgame's still better for me, but I wasn't just going to eat that pawn. Very important point here. Dodge the queen trade. All right, so now they play something like queen d7 just to get out of the way of rook c1 takes e7. And now, okay, well, first of all, this was working. I mean, the bishop on f7 is just so poorly placed. Like, it just blocks all defensive resources, and it has nowhere to go. It's not doing anything, right? It's kind of the problem. So queen takes h6, f6 is a resource. Rook g3, of course, is another resource. That'll knock him out and checkmate on the dark squares. But bishop e5 is also brutal here, and our advantage is back up to over +3, because what do you do? Like, this is such a dreadful, dreadful piece that I've left you with. You know, I made all these trades on e5. I trade off all the good ones. Also, defending here is kind of annoying, right? Like, a hit on this pawn, how are you even defending it? You can't play rook c8, that's hanging. c6, that's a pin. Although my bishop is much better than your rook anyway. But yeah, my biggest target was here, and looking at resources like f6, or just adding more on g7. So they played b5, trying to, like, relieve some of the tension on the rook, maybe rook c8, c5, like, something. But yeah, it wasn't to be. Rook b3, really nice move. I think this is my favorite move of the game, rook b3, and just bring that in. So yeah, rook g3 is coming, f6 is coming. I want to be careful f6, g5, and not allow them to, like, patch up. Even, it's hard to say how they would. But rook h3, and we just knocked him out. Bishop takes g7, I got a brilliant for it. Yeah, it's hard to say what to do here, because rook b6, f6, and now I want to just take on h6. And you don't have g5 because I'll take that. So it's all losing. Rook g8, and we take g7, rook b6, and we play f6, locking that rook away, and we checkmate nicely on h6 and h8. GG. GG, nice win over the FM. Could I check the line instead of h6, bishop takes f3? Sure. So, in this position, bishop f3, by the way, is the top engine move. And I should not take it, because this will be a problem. So that is a good call on your part. Oh, especially because rook g8 here. Especially rook g8 is a really nice move. So, for that reason, okay, h6. So, okay, bishop takes f3 we're talking about. Pawn takes f3. Yeah, I mean, pawn takes f3 is okay because you're... it's kind of interesting. Imagine here h6. g6 is a better move for the record, but imagine here h6. I'm playing king h1. I'm making better use of the g file than black is, right? So, like, king h8 they should play to not, like, lose h6. But you can imagine, like, I'm still, like, bringing my rooks here and here. I'm still, like, bringing this bishop out and looking to put a bishop takes h6 behind it. Bring this rook to h3. Bring this rook to g1. Like suddenly I have a lot of attacking resources because this file opened up. Ordinarily, yes, this should be a problem for my king, but that's just how bad black's position is. So to take here is never actually really a threat in this structure. I think what my opponent underestimated is actually how bad of a move this was. Like, their position wasn't good, but really pawn takes c3, defended d4, and it's like, what are you doing from here? What can this knight do? You can't generate anything on this whole part of the board. And I'm already dominant on this part of the board with this facing in this direction. So, interesting stuff. PGN to this game. You can find this game on W Grave. Alright, let's play another one, though. W Grave. So, our blitz rating, 2673. We're going to make it. You always think I'm saying Goring Gambit. It is anything but. It is anything but. Alright, let's play... Let's play 5 or 3-2. Send that out into the ether. Oh, you know what? We're getting games. We're getting games this evening. Although my opponents all are lower than me. So this opponent is at the edge of my rating range again. Almost exactly 200 points lower. Which is still a very good chess player. My opponent, 2477. Bushgas declined. Oh, no worries, we'll just take this pawn. No worries, we got prep everywhere. We got prep everywhere. I mean, knight f6 transposes to just kind of some boring equal game. Instead here, this is some spicy sort of equality, according to the engine. We gave a bishop and knight for a rook and 2 pawns. I think this is annoying. This is interesting. Just because, like, take, this endgame brings my rook to d1 right away. So it's like, what do you do? I mean, this is also, like, an obvious move. Alright, let's try this. Look for e4. You don't understand knight e1. Knight e1 in that game was to support f4. It was just really to get out of the way for f4, f5. It was just very important to expand over there and to take that space in those positions. But yeah, good question. Let's protect this. Yeah, this is just really nice. I'm just kind of operating by my pawns here a little bit. We've got a lot of options. I'm looking probably for f5 at the right moment. I mean, I think right now is the right moment. I think there's really no downside to it. So now we've got like a really, really nice pawn mass, right? Like I had these extra pawns. That's what I gave, and I'm really using them to try to restrict their pieces. So they have a bishop and knight for rook and 2 pawns, which is about even. But now, like, here they're going to cause some problems. So we're trying to play e4. We're trying to play f4. Let's just get our king off of here before, like, there's some trades on e4, so that this pawn can make useful. But yeah, e4, f4, f3, right? Like I want to push these with the goal that they can keep moving. I didn't even see that. But, okay. Well, I mean, maybe I can force this. So this wasn't what I foreseen. Alright, well, okay. Change of plans. Change of plans. What if I play d4 and trap your queen? Rook a8 takes rook b8. Yeah, is that possible? So that was like your route home, kinda. More than kinda. It was. Yeah, so you snatch this pawn. I took here, push d4. Where are you going? I mean, it doesn't help you. Much less problems on your king, which there might be several. For example, check and here with the double threat. That also seems not fun. But yeah, remember we played that move king h8, and I'm like, it's useful to get out the way. Yeah, it's useful. Alright, like, as good as this seems, I feel like a queen is more important. I feel that way. Here and rook here. I mean, the rooks were well placed, but they'll be better placed right there. Look at that. Bishop e7. Point being to take c6. I mean, in that position, I have... well, maybe I should just go check, actually, and take your queen. I was thinking, like, oh, I just need to go queen somewhere, defend c6, and the queen's still trapped, which is true. If I went queen h6, that's probably also fine. But this is better. Check, and we got him. We got him. Ladies and gentlemen... We're 2677. 2677. I think we've won. We're on a good streak here. We're on a good streak. So they delayed taking the pawn, and I'm like, okay, you don't want to take my pawn? You don't want to accept my Bushgas Gambit? I'll take your pawn. And they played d3. They're like, oh, let's just be equal. Let's just have the same position. And I'm like, no, I'll take f2. And we made this really spicy. They didn't take e5 now either. I think the point being check. So king f1 you should play and give me h2. Because if you go to g1, now I have check. As opposed to queen f6 in this checking pattern allows knight f3 as a block. This I just eat the knight whole. So they play king g1. Now it's a threat. Now I play bishop g4. Didn't like it. It wanted f6. Which I understand. I didn't like this. He has c4. Okay. It wanted... Here. What was the huge problem? The huge problem was h3. And it says I have to take it, because if I come back, then g4, and then I lose this pawn. Okay, I guess they got away with playing g4. Neither of us intuited that that was possible. Queen f1, now I protect my pawn like normal. The engine was giving a slight plus to white here, but just little by little, I mean, it's hard to find ideas, find squares for your pieces, I think. Like, what they're doing seems relatively normal, like bring out their pieces, but these were not good moves. These were not good moves. Somehow. And then my moves were just really easy here. Like, you saw, like, what my last few moves were? Like, yeah, there was stuff in the position both of us missed. But, like, just kind of from here in general, okay, we both castled. I gave the bishop and knight for a rook and 2 pawns. Okay, how do we both proceed? Right? So we're both bringing out our pieces. I bring this out. Like, I bring my queen out. I protect d5. I protect e5. And you saw I brought all my pieces out, and so did they. But suddenly my setup looks much more intimidating. Like, what are you going to do to me? This is kind of locked out of the game, again, by this c6 pawn, which is just fully restricting my opponent's stuff they can do. And I'm just playing king h8 because I was kind of lazy. King h8 actually being the best move because this was a blunder for the reason it played in the game. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things I can do here depending on how my opponent's setting up. So king h8, now I'm just kind of thinking on my opponent's time. I'm looking for e4 and f4 to get in at some moment, play here, but I've kind of the luxury to maybe maximize my position first, whatever I feel like is needed. They do end up going for this. Take, and d4. Okay, I mean, the best move here is queen a3. Just like saving the queen and losing a piece, and you're just going to lose in the endgame. Or I can even check and take your knight. So yeah, my opponent blundered with queen takes a7, d4, knight here, and we trapped their queen. It wasn't even, like, they're losing a lot of different ways. e4 is completely winning. Queen h6 completely winning. So, yeah, I mean, the king being open and the queen being here fishing for pawns, not the greatest Not the greatest combo as we move to just kind of tear open everything for our heavy pieces. Still kind of a nice game there, yeah. FM stands for FIDE Master. Little did you know. Alright, let's send out into the ether a 5 and a 3, 2. Oh, there's a discussion of what FM means. Fake monster. Thank you for the sub. Typically always gaming. Christopher Adams, Louis, Geraldo, and a guy for the super chat. Appreciate all the subs on YouTube, and you can get your little name to fly across. We're streaming here often. We're always playing Gambits. Doesn't matter who we're playing. Noobs, 2645s. Monaco. Monaco's cool. Alright, another Gambit glasses on, baby. Goring Gambit on the board. Let's go. Let's go. Take it, take it. Peace out, Mona Lisa. So the trick with the Goring, my opponent playing d6, actually potentially setting up a quick bishop e6 is an interesting defensive resource. But the issue here is they should have a very hard time developing. Okay, knight f6. We play here queen to b3. Not knight to g5 because knight e5 is possible. But we can attack f7, and queen d7 is a good move. Queen d7 is a good move. Much better than queen e7. Because here they have knight a5, and we'll just trade on c4. It's their only move here. Yeah, I don't have check because the queen is shielding. As I understand it, after bishop e7, I know like e5 right away is quite playable. Often what I do in this position is I just kind of go bishop and rooks. But e5 right away, well, let's give it a shot. I'm actually not sure. But yeah, they're not castled, so you want to strike. Alright, so like here, for instance, like they're still not castled, the rook's not there. So it takes knight takes e5 breeds some annoying problems because they got to deal with this hit on f7. So takes queen e6. Let's say I just take c7. Yes. Queen e6. I mean, yeah, they just want to give me that. Well, take c7, bishop d6. And maybe we're losing something. So, okay. Trying to keep up some pressure here. Like c6 rook e1. Oh no, the rook's not protected here. That's actually annoying. The rook is not protected here. So I can't do anything, whatever I want. Like I was thinking like, oh, I was just going to h6, but then they just literally take my rook. So we're lacking this being out in the game. Where shall we put you? Like, here's the obvious spot, but queen f5 is now with tempo. We'll just come to f4. Not clear where you're putting your queen, right? So I'm threatening knight g6. Brutal discovered attack. Knight's just going to slide out the way. And then this will be hanging. And then on the other end of that, this will be hanging. So you need to move the queen out of the way. You can't give the knight that kind of power to just move wherever it wants. But where? Because queen f5... I mean, I think they got to do that, but I was going to go knight c6. Pawn c6 and rook e7. That's why I didn't go to g5, because queen f5 would have attacked my bishop. You don't have any other good spots. Like d6 just runs into a new discovered attack. They just got to bite the bullet here. Queen f5... They could do that. You know what was potentially the issue? No. Ignore me. This is an interesting move. You're saying I don't have any good knight moves. Yeah, knight c6, take. My bishop will hang at the end of that line. Alright. Trade. Just trying to bring in a piece. Yeah, knight h5 was a really good move. Creates a square. They're trying to hang on to their extra pawn really badly. Maybe, did I have knight d7 here? Maybe. So, trade knight d7 is interesting, but like it really feels like you're desperate to get your pawn back in that case, rather than just trying to press a really nice development advantage. So, here, I'm trying to take away bishop d6. Alright, let's go with this move. No, bishop d6 still possible, yeah? Alright, let's go here. Bishop d6, I think the move is f4. The move is f4 to prepare knight e4. Okay, wait, now... You short on squares after knight e4? Alright, let's just go with this move. Oh, wait, is this... Oh, it's 3-2. We got increment, okay. Alright, knight d7 very forcing, because we've got this forked. So as soon as they moved the bishop, I was happy to make this trade. We land on d7, pretty nice. And we should be attacking this pawn and this bishop at the end of that. I don't know what else there is to think about here if you're black. Wasn't there a discovery? I didn't see any good discoveries at that time. Here, there's queen e6 pinning me, so let's just take a pawn. All right, we're good. We got our pawn back. Here, I still get counterpinned. This rook is not protected. But my pieces seem good. Well, rook e8. Alright, this will probably be come in handy. Let's throw this in. Okay. Didn't want to hang this. But now there's takes and taking my knight, yeah? I didn't see that.
Five, four, three, five.
Alright, we're even on pawns. No more Gambit glasses.
4, 3, 2, 3.
Is this a move? Yes, it is. Shoot. Ah, they missed it too.
4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5.
It takes f5, and I guess I was losing this, which I wasn't really fully calculating.
4, 5, 4, 5.
Ooh, he had to take with the bishop. He had to take with the bishop. You gotta stop this. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Ooh, we got away with one there. I'm not sure what was happening if he took with the bishop, but I guess we'll never know. Cutting off the king from advancing two. Yeah, that's correct. King f2, there's rook takes, and then promote. So now we constantly pressure this. Alright, we'll make that trade, that's fine. So get a couple pawns. Block the next check. Cut you off. I'll win that pawn. And my pawn resigns. Very, very well done at the end. I don't know about from before that. have me looking like Gojo from JJK. I know JJK is Jujutsu Kaisen, but I don't actually watch the show. But appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let's break that game down a little bit. So it was an interesting... It was an interesting line. It was an interesting line. The Goring here takes knight bishop c4. I really like this. I really like this because it's a better version of the Danish. So here c3, d5 is generally like a way out, or even like d5, they just need to kind of throw it in at any moment, and then you have to go pawn takes or something, blocking your bishop. But they never really have d5 as a good resource in the Goring Gambit when you just include these moves and then Danishize your pawns. Because d5 here, pawn takes has a tempo on the knight, and knight f3 is a move we need to play anyway. So the Goring is really just an improved version of the Danish, if you ask me. Castles here, knight f6. My opponent playing the best line. d6 before knight f6 takes away my resource of e5. So that was really solid on their part. So we castle. I mean, I would love to gambit like an additional pawn. That's always really fun with the bishop streaking down that way. But what we want to do here, like knight takes c3, you have like a little bit of compensation here, like you can just make some moves. But what we want to do is take advantage of the fact that our opponent's king is still in the middle. Attacking f7 is a bad idea if they can just castle and play and defend it with the rook. But my opponent is still another move from castling. This isn't working because the knight here just attacks the bishop and protects f7 really nicely. So we play your queen b3, hitting this pawn and causing some sort of annoyance because you're not in time to castle to protect it. You gotta do some sort of awkward queen move. Queen d7, yes, is an exclam. Queen e7 is actually really bad because in this position they wouldn't have their resource knight a5, which is what they need to untangle. I would have check, forcing the knight right back to there. But here I don't have it, so they're able to actually trade off for this important bishop and now play bishop e7 without 2 hits on f7. And I do strike with e5 right away. Yeah, also playable here is rook d1 to prepare e5, or even just bishop to g5 and enjoying nice files for the rooks. I play e5 right away. My opponent, again, I think defends this pretty well. Takes engine 1 here, rook d1, which I did consider during the game. But okay, here it's just like some sort of endgame where I'm fishing for my pawns back. I'm not going to grovel like that. It's the Gambit style to keep the queens on. Queen e6, my opponent is defending correctly. Queen was hit and holds f7. Apparently this is playable because, yeah, you can't really take it at the end of the line. I will play rook e1 to get my piece back. So we're fine here, but okay, I mean, I think black is generally okay after they castle. So here my opponent has defended very well. And knight h5, again, wow. What a brilliant engine move here. I mean, that is a tough move to find when this is hit. But yeah, so people were asking about the discovery. So at this point, I can't, like, I would love to play knight g6 if this were defended. I need to move this bishop to make that happen. That's the problem. My knight's actually not threatening a discovery. It's pinned. The exact opposite. But now after bishop f4, the table's turned. Like, now this is a problem for you. This is a problem for you. It's not a problem for me. It's a problem for you, right? Now the knight has the power to go literally anywhere and take whatever it can. So you got to step off it. But knight h5 is a really nice move because now my knight doesn't have any spot my knight could go to that's forward. Appreciate the subs. Sumit, Karim. Thank you all. Now anywhere my knight could go to, it opened up queen takes g6, right? So the knight is no longer there. So that was really well done by my opponent. Here they should have been able to defend. The engine's saying that, yes, you're just up the pawn. It's hard to develop, like, I don't know these moves here. h6. But, yeah, here knight d7, and I get some sort of play. I get the pawn back, but generally, you know, they're okay. This was a very bad move. b3. I should have played b3 because, yeah, it just weakened my knight. I want b3 and knight e4. Is basically, like, it was kind of short-sighted, but we didn't have a lot of time. Yeah, just re-coordinating my rooks here against them taking this file, I guess, is most sensible. I got my pawn back, and, you know, it kind of is what it is. After my opponent defended well in the opening to get their king out of there. So here I should have lost. Here I should have lost, yes, because I hung bishop takes f2 in this line. Absolutely, I hung bishop takes f2. If knight takes, there's rook takes e1, and then I'm losing even more. So bishop f2 is actually a really, really nice move here. And then otherwise, like, king over, they trade queens and eat my rook. So, yeah, that's a problem. So they just take it. h5, which is actually a really good move, because takes, there's f5 here. And, again, I'm dealing with this pin. So they did this quite well. I should have played g5, which still stops f5 owing to en passant. But, okay, in the game, king f1, pawn takes g4 here. So, like, this is about equal, maybe a little bit better for them. And here, wow. So, I mean, we're trading blunders here. Rook e8, I should lose. I should lose just right away. I'm pinned. But they, instead of just, wow. Instead of that, they blundered. And now after it takes b6. Suddenly, I don't know, things worked out for me again. Really? I messed this up? What happened here? Oh, check and now g2. Ah, and now promote and... Interesting, okay. Well, we both kind of missed stuff. They actually should have had an opportunity to draw. Somehow. Some way. Alright. Well, let's see if we can keep this winning streak going. We're up to 2684, guys. I think we're just kind of... We may never lose again. We may never lose again. 2684, y'all. Alright. Let's put out a 5-0. Let's put out a 3-2. The Mona Lisa was not helpful, no. The Mona Lisa, as I understand it, was not stolen from the Louvre. But what a story. The Louvre heist. Crazy. Alright. Bushcast Gambit. This game is 3+2. My opponent plays c3. Looking for a quick d4. I feel like everyone's doing this these days. Hello, hello. It was very suspicious when I wear glasses. I agree. They give me incredible powers. The powers of the Gambit, Chad. I mean, my opponent just kind of playing a boring line here. Should I go here? b6 or d6? Probably d6. I feel like when they castle, h2 is going to be... Like, if the knight were on f3, then I would tell you b6. But the knight's defending f2. So, I don't know. But yeah, they just wanted to play something really boring and equal. They were really scared. d2, f6... Oh, okay, knight c4 is annoying, yeah. But they gotta deal with this first. Alright, how are we going to set up? I was thinking... Alright, let's try to keep this on the board. e5 is interesting. Just trying to really get that. a3 and a6 is playable. Yeah. I mean, the other option is just be normal. b5 here, bishop b7. I mean, they can also just play bishop f3. I'm not sure it's so compelling. Being real. How do I actually cause a problem in their position? It's not so easy. Alright, I feel like bishop f3 would be the most annoying thing. So I might just do this for now. Here, knight c5 is... I'm kind of asking them to make a good move. I could play this. Here. It's probably this, honestly. It's probably this to play knight b6, so that, or else knight c6, there's this. All my pawns get attacked. Queen b3 is a blunder, owing to takes and knight c5 right now. So that's cool. This is interesting. I don't know, I'm just gonna go here. We're chilling. How long have I been playing chess? Wait, who asked me that? Oh yeah, that was the most recent question. Oh! I called this blunder. Takes a knight c5. That's actually too funny. Didn't I just say this? They can't go queen b3 because I will take it and go knight out. Oh, that's too good. We got him. Maybe not knight takes because we stepped into a pin. GG. How long have I been playing chess? Just since the start of this game. Just past few minutes. No, I played my first rated tournament before my 6th birthday. So it's been a minute. It's been 20 plus years. If you also count from when I learned chess at 3 or 4. So I started real young. You know, there were times when I wasn't playing in my life, though. But I don't know what the before times were. Before chess. This is still hanging. And yeah, I mean, I think, like, just doing anything that young... Like, I'm trying to learn French right now, you know? Imagine if I hadn't done that 20 years ago. Really helps me into it. And yeah, I mean, I loved competing. And then, moreover, into my life, I liked making communities out of the game. Is this... What's the time control? It's 3-2. Yeah. So we're good. So, you know, I didn't go to a school with a chess team. Every Scholastic tournament I would go to, I would see chess teams everywhere. I think this is fine. It's not necessary at all, but it's fine. Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be everywhere. I was jealous. It's like, I want teams. I want a community around this. I would just be playing just for Edgemont myself. And so I sought out to make that happen, as I don't get mated here. Okay, you can have one of my pieces. Which one do you want? Okay, understandable.
4, 3, 2, 4.
Check. Take. It was good.
3,
Yeah.
5, 4.
Yeah, and so I taught my teammates. I found my own teammates at my school, and that was great. When I started the chess club, and people started coming, and you know, it was really nice. And what was also nice is we won nationals for realsies against all these programs. Why is this so much more complicated than it needs to be? Let me just take the pawn. There we go. Once we won, but we also won states, and back to back we won high school states, and then at college as well. Well, first of all, it was very important to me that it would survive beyond my graduation, and so I wanted to make sure it got funding, that people could go to chess tournaments, you know, without having to pay for it themselves. So that was something I pushed really hard for, and so this was especially helpful. My opponent wants a rematch, but I wanted to analyze this. So yeah, everything logistically that I handled there, and then again at U Chicago, revitalizing the chess program, that was awesome. What was really special to me before that was teaching, that I was able to teach. I was employed at Hunter Elementary School, and just sharing chess with other people, sharing my ideas, what I've learned, especially with children. And now I get to share it with all of you guys. So it's been an awesome journey, and that's really my favorite part. Competing is what, like I'm a competitor at heart. That's not going away. but it's always awesome to be able to share the game and enrich other people's lives doing it, because one of the reasons I'm so passionate about sharing the game is because of all the benefits that chess has. Like, what a great hobby to have, you know? Was there anything I could have done better in the opening here? This was a funny opening. G3. Like, if you're just picking up your phone, playing chess so much better than a million other things you could do. A million other, like, yeah, this was the blunder in the game. This was a funny one. I mean, it's just dead equal. I think if someone plays this against me again, no, this is it. It's just dead equal. Yeah, not much else to say from here. Once I won the piece, I don't think. I think it was just a pretty clean piece. And we just traded stuff. So, yeah, no, I've been all around the world playing. It's because I started so young, so I got to play like World Youth Championships for my age groups. Like, honestly, the younger you go in my life, probably the better I was for my age. So I was the national champion. Well, I was the national champion for 3rd grade, 6th grade in the US, for under 10 in Canada, and then again under 20 in Canada. So I'm also Canadian. Most meaningful to me, I would have to say, as the Blitz rating goes to 2689. So I think we're on fire here, kinda. Kinda on fire, as we're looking for 27. Was when I won New York State Chess Championships a year ago. That was very meaningful to me for all ages. I'm the 146th state champion. Hikaru Nakamura, Paul Banco, Jose Capablanca, Frank Marshall. These guys' names are also on the cup, so this was a very long-standing goal of mine. But yeah, I mean, more so than like super just competing now. I really like I just love chess. There was a time in my life where I just loved winning at chess, but now I love chess. Can I explain my opponent's blunders? Yeah, sorry. So here, this was their blunder. Right here, when they play Queen B3. Right? So it allowed me to take and then fork. Right here, the knight is attacking those two. The queen needs to move, and then I'm hitting D3 twice. Right? So the queen has to be there for this to be a fork, or else like the bishop can just move. So that was really it. Just Queen B3, and then boom, boom, boom. Out of nowhere. Right? Otherwise, like, if they wanted to play for an advantage, the engine is telling them that they just needed to take this pawn on E5 and accept the dreaded Bushgas Gambit. What's my best chess win? Is that the question? Oh, my opponent is the same. Just switch colors. Okay. I have the same opponent. Let's play an Alapin Gambit here. Let's go. Alapin on the board. Oh, my opponent is prepped? My opponent is prepped. Maybe they were prepping for me during that break. Wow. My opponent knew the knight h6 move. Yeah, this is no way you would find such a move over the board. But we got the Gambit glasses on anyway. We put on the Gambit glasses whenever we play a Gambit. So that tends to be almost every single game. I don't know. Can I do this? Is there any logic to this move? I don't want these... Like, my concern is takes and E3 on, actually. This is actually... Like, this is such a brutal idea. I don't know. Check B5. Bishop D7. I don't know. What is happening here? Oh, no. I actually don't like it. Okay, check here. Thank you, Horrible and Historical, for the sub. what's happening? Yeah, the knight was putting a lot of pressure on these 2 points here. So, knight takes knight e3. Just have to take back. This is trade d4, right? Yeah, I just have to take it. This was really good prep. They were prepared for the Alapin Gambit. Not a lot of French players are. Not a lot of French players are. Why not f takes? Ah, yeah. I mean, good question. I didn't even talk about knight h6. No, knight h6 is a brutal move because, like, takes... Yeah, queen h4 check. And then queen takes e4. Yeah, hitting here. They have knight f5 as an additional pressure point on e3 with the queen from here. So it's actually... quite the move. And if I take it, they play check and take back, not pawn takes. So knight h6, crazy move, trying to get to f5, but also not knight e7 trying to get to f5, which would have blocked the queen's path to h4. So there's no chance anyone can find that without the engine and preparing. No chance. Let's play Yorick e1. Give you another chance to accept the gambit, but I don't think my opponent feels so inclined. Bro prepped their gambit. Who does that? I don't know. I don't know anyone else who ever would have prepped the Alapin Gambit and knight to h6. Can you think of one person? By the way, everyone follow my good friend here, Maddie Plays Chess, in the chat on Twitch. Influencer just started streaming. I think knight d5 here hits a lot of stuff. Hits a lot of stuff, but yeah, I mean, there's just kind of forks galore. Like, any of these could be a fork, right? Well, actually, that wasn't really true. I mean, any of them can be a check, but I need the dark square bishop for that to be a problem. Okay, whatever. Yeah, he's not gonna take it. Alright. Probably should have been a spot for my bishop, because now e5 becomes annoying. This becomes annoying. Should have just run away. That's okay. We'll make this work. King e2 and e5 is annoying. So the point here, what we got to do is check. We got to take it and create that square. I mean, we got to do that stat. Check, take, and bishop d5. Otherwise, I was going to get trapped here, right? c4. Ooh. Really? I don't like this. I wish I had some development. Is this a threat? Knight b7? Nah, it's not good. Just king over. You might have missed it, though. Ooh, I forgot that existed.
Five.
Don't tell me you want to draw here. Your position's so good. Yeah, my problem is I was the one gambiting, but then I never got this development. That was the problem this game.
Four. Three.
Yeah, not pleasant.
Four.
Oh, it's still hanging. I kind of zoned out
Five.
this game. All right. Rip the win streak.
4, 3, 5.
4, 3, 5.
4, 3, 2, 4.
Alright, they got me. Yeah, this line's so unpleasant when they do this.
3.
So unpleasant.
Two,
I haven't found a good
one.
solution. I haven't found a good solution to this. My opponent challenged me again. Okay, okay, buddy. I'm annoyed at you for prepping against my line. Last time I played this, he just did some stuff. I'll give you another chance. I'll give you another chance. Accept the Bushgas Gambit. Take my pawn. Did you prep it? No. What do you got? You're doing the same BS, bro? Alright. I'll just cook you. I'll just cook you anyway. Let me put a queen. Well, they do this, right? They put the knight here. Alright, I guess what I did last game was fine. They played knight c4 in this position last game. Alright, it was all the same stuff. It was all the same stuff up until around here. Alright. I assume they're not going to hang bishop f5, knight d7, takes knight c5 again. Going out on a limb. Go here. How to get the clock to talk. It is a extension on Google Chrome. It is a Google Chrome extension for clockforchess.com. Load time alerts. Load time alerts. It's very helpful. It's annoying, but I need it. It was especially useful in Title Tuesday when Title Tuesday was increment based. Can I just give that pawn? No. Talking about this pawn. Take. Maybe? It's interesting. Take. I just want something exciting to happen. Rook d7, bishop moves, and then rook e7, pressuring here. The other point in that line is like some moments there can be take, and bishop d3 winning something. So that's what we're going for. Yeah, king c1 is what I should have played last game for sure. You are absolutely right. That's a good move because my bishop doesn't have a square along here that I would be satisfied with. There's nothing there. Okay. Do it anyway. Do your worst. I think the problem here... No, we're good. Rook c8. Yeah, they're losing something there. I was gonna let them just make that trade, but that's... They take... Like, their position would have been so pretty. I mean, yeah, they could still put the bishop. Okay. We just need to play moves here. Let's just invite knight a5. This is annoying. I guess that was their next move, right? I still wanted to trade. Okay, this is pinned. This pointing here is kind of annoying for me. I'm gonna be real. Yeah, I think the queen here was some sort of danger. Bishop was it's such a well-placed piece, honestly. It's just solid in the middle of the board, just doing that stuff. Okay. No, they have f3. Okay. Scram. I guess that was their point. No? Take. Yeah. Alright. That's unpleasant pawn structure. I'm not wasting time defending this. Takes a take. I missed this. No, I didn't miss it, because there's rookie one check. But a king e2, now I can take it, right? So they do it now. Just to bring it here? No, this is a problem. This invasion is bigger than that pawn. Oh, I should have... recaptured by rook.
Five.
I don't know. D4 is interesting.
Four.
Let's go here. I'm trying to run him out of
Five.
moves.
4. 5. 4. 5.
Do I win this race? I feel like I need this pawn to be gone for me to be able to stalemate myself. Ah, that was the pattern we did not want. Okay, well now the pawn is useful. Wait, they have queen e4, right? I need it to be here. We have queen d1, queen g4. Oh, wait, now it's a draw. Oh, they missed it. Yeah, they missed it. It's a draw. With the rook pawn, it's a draw. But with the rook or the bishop pawn, it's a draw. With any other pawn, though, then you could force my king into a series of checks that go there. But here, the problem is, even if you force my king to h1, you still don't have time to bring your king closer. You still don't have time to bring your king closer here, because... This is interesting. No, they could have won here. I think they messed up. Because queen d1 check here. Yeah, queen d1, and then queen g4 next turn. So here forces me to go king h2, and now king d5. And now you win this pawn. Which is exactly the pattern they did. They got me here. They did that checking pattern and got me here. It's just the pawn goes, and now has to distract the queen. But they can just do it again. They just need to bring the queen right there. That's the key spot. But yeah, their issue here is that, like, let's say they go queen f4 check, or like queen h3 here, and like this pattern here that would walk me down to block my pawn. Generally, it gives you time to keep it bringing it in. But here, because it's a stalemate threat, you need to move your queen again, And so you should never have time to bring your king closer. And for that reason, it just goes on in perpetuity. And black draws with the rook pawn. With the bishop pawn, it's also interesting because the king and the pawn, imagine they're like this. And queen g3 check comes trying to force the king to block its pawn so that the king has time to come in. But queen g3 check in that position, then you have king h1. And king h1 still retaining the threat of f1. But in that position, right, so they should be able to take this pawn if it's any other pawn. But because it's a rook pawn, that's position, specifically after queen takes f2, is stalemate. So you can't force the king to go to f1 is the problem. Imagine the king and the pawn are on the red. You can't force the king to go to f1 there because they always have king h1 and the pawn is poisoned, being stalemate. But imagine that happened like with an e-pawn, queen f3, king f1, pawn e2, right? So check there. I mean, you don't have king g1. You could just take that because the h1 square exists. It's not stalemate. So it forces the king to go to e1 blocking the pawn, and then the king just comes in. So important stuff there. Somebody asked in the YouTube chat, yes, Hunter is famous for having Hikaru's stepdad as a teacher. Yes. Hikaru's stepfather, Sunil Weramantri. By the way, I'll update my blitz rating. Here, I've fallen to 2675. Hikaru's stepfather. Let's play someone else. Sunil Weramantri was my coach for many, many years. Between like the ages of like 8 and 18. We're very, very close. And he was my employer. When I was 14, 15, it was my first job. I taught at summer day camps there. I taught at their national tournaments. I had some private students. I taught at their Sunday tournaments that I used to play in as a kid. That was my first experience teaching chess and teaching kids, was working with the Hunter chess program. And so, yeah. My coach then became my boss. At the same time. But yes, Sunil Weramantri of the National Scholastic Chess Foundation needs to be credited with bringing chess to schools, especially in New York City, where like every school has like chess. But he was the first to do it, and then not only make it like an after-school program or like a thing you do, but to actually make it a compulsory class in elementary school, like how you do music class, gym class, art class, chess class. So Hunter was first. Sunil was first. But no, but of course everyone does it, and it's great. It's great. It's a great mission. Chess fever has gone crazy, especially in, you know, past few years or so. Let me take away bishop g4 here. I don't know. Don't know where their bishop goes if not that. Think about this. Let me just play rook e1 while I think about stuff to do. Bishop out, take away knight e5. d5, e5, I like it. As long as there's no knight e4 in that position, which there is not. So I'm fine to just keep developing and see what they do. You don't have knight e5. d5, e5, yeah, like I said, I like it. They're also just kind of chilling. Do I do something like this? Do I just kind of like make a move? Alright, let's see. I mean, they moved this pawn out the way anyway. This would be promptly trapped. My opponent here is a FIDE master, so they're not a slouch. So here, yeah, I mean, I like the space that gives me. But yeah, they really declined my gambit. It was kind of brutal. Like d7, I think invites this move, which is kind of what I was thinking. So like they're trying to put this on f6. Yeah, let's do this. So my pieces are all out, right? We abide by our principles. We move all our pieces and get them all into the game. It's absolutely top priority, unless there's something urgent going on in the position. I think they hung c7. Could trade. Could push. Not seeing like a hugely compelling case one way or the other. Take bishop f5. Is that annoying? Maybe. Honestly, this is probably the most annoying. My bishop, not super concerned about it. I mean, I would be if they achieved all that. But I have some ideas. Queen b7, f5. Or c8. It's also like an interesting move. Yeah, I would probably play it. Knight f8. Rook c1. They go there, inviting this trade. Or inviting bishop b5. What if I proceed? Do you take on h3? I don't think so. Do you want it? Trade, knight f1. Yeah, I don't think so. But okay, this bishop is hit. Yeah, that was really non-existent foresight on my part. Let's go here. Takes. Takes, rook takes. We defend it. A3, queen c1. I mean, I probably shouldn't have left him in limbo. This is also... Okay. Yeah, my extra pawn... Not as hot as... Like, this is a weird trade. The d5 pawn was kind of clogging some stuff for him. And I'd prefer for it to still be on the board. Alas. Do you ever takes d4? I mean, maybe. We'll see. Oh. Wait. I need to, like, focus. I can't just... Yeah, okay, we're fine. No, we're not. We're losing the pawn. Okay. What's up? You're gonna win this rook back hole? I would be impressed. If you could do it. I want knight d6 to block this. I think that was my secret resource. And I stepped off of this line. Yeah, so they eliminate the knight. Right, obviously this is check. Rook d8, and then queen b6. Well, no, rook d8, sorry, it's check. Wait, so am I good here? It's check. Just need to get everybody off of this diagonal. There we go. We did it. Pinned you. I guess you bishop g1. Let's just play a good move. Nope, no, it's not a good move. This is a good move. Rook d7 check. I don't know why I was focused on finding a tactic there. Up a full rook. But you gotta do what you gotta do. GG. GG. Victory. Gregoire, thanks for the sub. And Benjamin, thanks for the follow. What is my best win? My best win in just like fully classical FIDE game would have to be Fidel Corrales Jimenez or Shaponsky. My best win in Titled Tuesday was Jordan Van Foreest. You know, like that hot chess player, that hot, really good GM. That guy. right? I thought I was lying. What's his rating? Peak rating 2715. So, yeah, I assume by best you mean highest rated, not like most special to me. All right, 2679 we're at. Most special to me? That's a different question. Am I Italian? No, I'm not Italian. I'm Jewish. Here, I'm Canadian and American. My parents are from Canada. I was born and raised in New York. I'm a dual citizen. This was just a really nice position. I mean, they declined my gambit. Like, they played here just pawn d3, and I just took this pawn. Like, instead of playing takes and bishop c4. We can switch in to... Okay, my position was just really pretty here. I think I was just winning kind of the whole game. I mean, I think I got a little lazy here. This is a terrible move. We're +2 if we go for... Oh, I missed this resource. So my bishop is hanging here with this hanging after this gets clogged. I missed check and then we're good. Because g6, yeah, you just fight your way out with f5. With bishop, or with maybe d5 and bishop going to c3. So, yeah, I missed that. b3 instead. Okay, takes. Yeah, this just didn't work. This just didn't work. Because of this nice queen f2 resource, actually. Or even simpler was an 83, which just counterpins here, and now the rook is free, because we stopped this. But your rook takes d4 is really risky, because you have to win the rook whole. You can't just, like, be... Just take him back in exchange, then I'll be up a piece. You have to win the rook whole. And there's just too many resources I have here. Like, queen f2, they realize now I have knight d6, stepping out of the way here. So, now allowing for queen takes. Yeah, you gotta take a whole rook. So, they were not able to do that. This is check, so I'm not losing my queen. And I just step out the way, king out the way, queen out the way, and here we're just winning. I don't think I've ever played Levy. Although, we used to play a lot of the same tournaments and such growing up. But I don't think I've ever played Levy. I did challenge Levy. He has this video where it was like a Guess the ELO video. And one of his subscribers played a Bush-Gas Gambit, but played it totally wrong. Like, totally wrong. Like, I don't know if they actually got it from my channel or it was just messing around, because nothing was right. But he's like, this is just such garbage. And I'm like, okay, I gotta respond to this. Like, you're coming after my opening. My precious Bush-Gas Gambit. e4, e5, knight f3, bishop to c5. I'm like, Levy, I challenge you. Let's play. Challenge you to a match. I'll play the Bush-Gas Gambit. You can prepare for it. Literally, all my prep is in my YouTube videos that I tell you everyone to play. But I never heard from him. I guess he's been busy. Or he was just, like, absolutely petrified. But I would be surprised if he's seen the video. But anyway, if you find that video of me... That's from, like, a couple years ago now. It's got to be a couple years ago now. I did not have this level of production quality. But it's me calling Levy out. Offer is still on the table. Offer still on the table. Anyone wants to play the Bush-Gas Gambit against me, they can. Alright. I'm willing to take a few challenges from viewers. Right now, I'm kind of too tired to play people who are really good. But, yeah, challenge me on W. Grafe. If you're a subscriber. Can you remember how did I break through 1800? That was a long time ago. I think I might have been 8, maybe 9 when I broke 1800 USCF. But it's still like a very high level, very good chess player. What I was doing as a kid was like lots and lots of tactics. and it wasn't so easy to do them back then, but like I had a little CD, a little disc software that would go in, because before that, tactics were just something you had to do in the back of a book. You didn't get like instant feedback. You set up the position from the book, and then you checked in the back for the solution. So, but grinding tactics is just so good. Now, of course, it's available just in so many different great ways on chess.com, on Lichess, on Chess Tempo, whatever you want to do. But what was I gonna add? Yeah, I mean, it exposes you to so many patterns, so I would have to advise this. I would have to advise this for sure. Otherwise, reviewing your games. Like, these are the 1A, 1B ways of getting better. Reviewing your games and doing tactics, right? So when you play, you need to make sure you analyze. You need to make sure you analyze. Gauge with your mistakes. Did I not see the best move? Did I consider it and reject it? Like break that down. That's the important stuff. Dr. Music, thanks for the sub on YouTube. Do you need to be friends to challenge on chess.com? I don't know the answer to that. Do I have any challenges? I feel like they would show up here. I could switch over to Lichess here. Do I know why you can't watch from the beginning at 2 times speed while you're live? No, don't know why. I have a lot of questions for YouTube support myself. Do you know on YouTube to watch my own videos, even when I'm logged into the account, if I want to watch my own videos, I have to watch ads too? I have to watch the ads that they run on my videos. Isn't that funny? The other thing I wish YouTube would do, this is a real complaint, and nobody does this, but you guys see how I'm multi-streaming right now. So if you're on YouTube right now, I'm phone sized, right? If you're on Twitch right now, I am computer sized or TV sized, like horizontal. I wish YouTube would just allow you to select. Like, I'm literally multi-streaming right now. I'm happy to just stream both of those to YouTube. And so whatever thing you're on, you should be able to click and get that. Instead, I gotta send one to Twitch and one to YouTube. 10-0 is a little long. 10-0 is long. Comment, guys, comment in the chat here your Twitch username if you're subscribed on YouTube and if you're following on Twitch, and then I'll accept your challenge. Sorry, your chess.com username. Comment that. I'm not really getting any challenges. What time control do I want to play? 5 plus 3 is good. 5 plus 3 is good. I need you all to comment in the chat. Alright. Alright. Good luck seeing Bootal. Make sure to mute. Make sure to mute the stream there. Alright, let's play a Walrus Gambit, though. How to play this game? Good question. Good question, bro. I can now stream in YouTube in both mobile and desktop. So, when you say both, do you mean either, or do you literally mean both? I know I can do either. Like right now on YouTube, I'm streaming in for phone sized. As we set up here with a little Alapin, sorry, Grand Prix attack. I have 6 castles. Queen E8 is what I'm looking for. This pawn trade is fine for me. I mean, I could look for pushing, but pawn trade is fine. I'm happy to put a pawn there and blockade this bishop for the foreseeable future. And also no pawn will come to d4 blocking my guy. So I like how this kind of went. f5 takes. This bishop is developed here and looking not like a great piece. This is looking like a very good piece. My pieces just should come to pretty nice squares here. It does do 2 separate streams. Are you sure about this? Is this a new feature? YouTube just answered my prayers of allowing for multi? How do I know where to move pieces? Well, I mean, like, the obvious answer is I don't. I'm just trying stuff. But I won't say that. I'd say my thought process at a very high level, or at a very basic level, rather, what you can try to replicate here is the first thing I ask myself is if my opponent could move again, what would they do? Right? Very important question. If my opponent could move again, what would they do? And I specifically answer that. I'm hoping the answer to that is nothing in particular. Right? Like I want to address if there's something urgent going on in the position. Something I can do to them. Something they can do to me. If not, I'm just trying to improve my pieces. I'm just trying to improve my king safety, move my worst piece. Like you see now, good piece, good piece, good piece, good piece, good piece, good piece. Everything I've moved is a good piece. We're on move 10 of this game. Right? I mean, my last couple of moves were with the queen, who wasn't doing much. But so even on move 8 of this game, I had all my pieces out pretty nicely. And now I'm trying to cause a problem. I was trying to bring my queen in this vicinity where their king is. I've got my rook open, my bishop open, right? What do I want to do from there? Once I've got my stuff out, my king safe, is I want to start looking for your king. It's a new feature on YouTube. Okay, wait, I'll have to look into that. That's awesome. Can you put me in check and take the bishop? Almost. Check I have here, and my bishop is protected. But good question. I do have to watch out for these pawns coming at me. All right, so for example, b4 and a4. Trying to play a5, trap my bishop. In that position, what I would do is simply move this pawn to create a square. So my opponent plays h4 because my queen here was actually threatening bishop takes h3. The downside of bringing this pawn all the way to h4 is that now I can camp out on the g4 square with either the bishop or the knight. And I really mean camp out. Like, I can just stay there forever. Nobody can kick me away. So bishop g4 is really nice. That's a lot of pressure on the pin. Probably what I'll choose. Knight g4 is worth considering as well. It's a lot of pressure here. But I want to make sure to use all my pieces, so I'm playing bishop g4. So that was really nice. My queen came here, attacked this pawn on h3. They tried to take away bishop g4, but they were unable to. And now this pin is really problematic. And what I'm going to seek to do now, right, simple stuff. I'm going to seek to move my worst piece onto the open file, right? Rooks don't do well blocked by their own pawns, right? So you need files. So let's just check. We got to slide out the way. All right, someone asked about this. Queen c4. This is protected. Queen c4 makes sense because now you can move this knight, but you do need to watch out for bishop e2, which was not obvious, but actually just wins the game. I mean, nothing wrong with a number of other moves here. White really doesn't have a threat, but bishop e2, their problem was they weren't able to get good development. Like, you look at white's position here, none of their pieces are good. None of their pieces are good. Like, the queen is out floating, sure, but there's nothing to attack. The rook is staring at this pawn, the bishop is staring at this pawn, the knight is here. So it was just kind of a tough situation that you know, just like little things made it hard for them to develop. And now bishop e2, we make sure to spot the important things. That's tactics. That's tactics. So this rook will be hanging. But it's tough. I mean, white wasn't a slouch here, but no, we just kept adding pressure. What'll it take to see the Halloween Gambit from the man of Gambits himself? Nothing. One like and I'll do it. Happy Halloween, y'all. Almost. G4. I guess that's interesting. Takes, and I will take your rook. I could do that. Knight takes g4, queen takes e2. I don't think we want that, even if I can eat f2 in that position. It's probably not it. So, I mean, I don't really want an endgame, so let's just eat this pawn. What's up, Moadine? Thank you, y'all. Yeah, this isn't Blitz. I was playing Blitz before. Against people at my rating. We got all the way up to 2689. But then we dropped a game. I was getting very little rating points for winning, and I lost a lot for losing that one game. Oh, but I need a little bit of a break. Yeah, let's play a Halloween Gambit. That would be fun. Comment if you want to play next. Comment what opening you'll play against me. But yeah, right now I'm facing viewers. I missed some comments here. I went from 2200 to 2400 in a month, but now I'm stuck at 2400-ish. How should I try to improve? I mean, that's an extremely high level to be stuck at. I mean, there's no one-size-fits-all solution. If there was, if I could give a super easy answer to that question, chess wouldn't be chess. It wouldn't be the world's hardest game. Like, our opening's the problem, our endgame's the problem. Like, you gotta be analyzing your games and seeing what's going on. Exact Sniper gifting a tier 1 sub to Maddie Plays Chess. How sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you, Exact Sniper. Alright, now I'll definitely play that. Yeah, guys, if you have opening requests, I'm happy to play it. So, I mean, like I was saying, people are asking me how to improve at chess. Grinding tactics is very helpful. Like, most games are decided by one happening to you or against you. It exposes you to so many patterns. Right? As here, like, Queen H2 is coming inevitably, right? Knight F3, Rook takes F3. Like, these are things that we just spot. Rook here to create a square for your king. But, okay, F2 just gets pulverized. So, like, for example, check and Rook takes is just going to mate you there. These are things we're just spotting. And then the Bishop E2 resource. Because we've looked at so many patterns, right? So, that's really helpful. But then there's no replacement for going over what's happening in your games. So, that's where, like, a coach comes in. Who can, like, explain this to you in English. In such a way where... you know, you need to translate Stockfish into English, right? Like Stockfish is going to give you a move. Stockfish is going to give you a move. But you need to understand why. Like, what are you doing wrong in that position? Do you understand that, like, for example, like, the bishop is bad here? Are you putting your bishop on wrong colored pawns? That's something you gotta kind of explain to yourself. Like, oh, I didn't go there because I thought if I went bishop f5, then knight b3 was a good move, right? And you're breaking that down. You're like, okay, let me play around with the engine. Oh, they can't play knight b3 because of x, y, or z. So, you know, if you can explain it to yourself, then that's good. That's good. But you got to really engage with your mistakes, not just play the next game. So, or not just be like, oh, I blundered. Or like not all blunders are the same. Why did you blunder? Me too, right? So, which requires a lot of willpower. It's not an easy thing to do. Gambit means, yes, a gambit means you give some material, very often a pawn, in exchange for some initiative, some sort of compensation, often like very quick development of your pieces, and or control the center, all that good stuff. And especially, we start looking to the king. We go for some sort of attack as a result of giving up some sort of material. And it's risky because, like, you're down something, but, you know, piece activity is more important. You're mainly playing your openings, so you're scared to face you. Face me anyway. Yeah, I saw a comment in the chat about Daniel Naroditsky. I actually haven't even said anything about that. I didn't really know what to say when it happened. I actually remember, like, I streamed the next day. It was titled Tuesday, and I just didn't even really address it. That was, like, genuinely really sad. My earliest memory of him was I was maybe 11 or 12, and I saw him just like, he was just like playing, just like going over and showing stuff to younger kids who were much lower rated than he or I, and he was higher rated than I was, of course. He was maybe, I guess, 16 at the time. And for me, I had such an elitist attitude about chess at the time. I was like, I would never slum it with the lower rated people like that. And I was like, what's he even doing? And there was such a joy to his explaining chess. He was doing it for no other reason other than he loved sharing the game. And he loved educating people about the game. And there was such a joy to it all around. And for me, I was just so obsessed with just like winning. And that memory stuck with me. I don't know if, like, we weren't like good friends. I don't know how many conversations we ever had about something that wasn't chess. But it was kind of the first time in my life that I looked at someone else and I was like, that's who I want to be. That's something more powerful that I can do with chess than just winning. And, you know, I don't think like it like, I don't want to overstate that's effect on me. Like, okay, like I was still doing my thing. I was like competing in nationals, you know, I wanted to win. And it wasn't until like a few years later that I started teaching. Maybe I would have started teaching anyway. But I know how fulfilling it is to spread the game to so many people, as he did, better than anyone. You know, I would always say he's my favorite YouTuber. I recommended his channel. I recommended him before I would recommend anyone, myself or anyone else. He had such a. It's one thing to be so good at chess, and there's many GMs out. Not really. There's 1,000 or so GMs out there. It's one thing to be so unbelievably skilled about him, but what was even more special about him was he was an even better person than he was chess player. How many people's lives he enriched through the game, and including mine. So just by demonstrating this, and yeah, I didn't know what to say at the time. But yeah, I was genuinely really sad. It sucks, but I just hope that what he shared with all of us yeah, I don't know what to say. But yeah, I'll miss him. I really will. And a lot of other people will too. Let's play another game. Someone challenge me. Yeah. Where are the challenges? Ah. Alright, let's go. Bush gas accepted. Let's go. I love playing Bush gas Gambit against my viewers. This is a good move. C3 is very rare. Most people put the knight on C3. I mean, why wouldn't you? C3 with no D4 yet. D4, I would have just played castles, which still pins here. Might have given take and just jam it in. But, I mean, he could probably drive my queen away. No, the only point of C3 is to play D4. I don't know what's going on. It's very strange. Okay. I mean, D4 is coming. I needed that queen on H5. So the queen on H5 is going to be very aggressive for me. Because what we're looking for is bishop D6 at some moment. Trying to take the knight. And then take this pawn. And if H3, then often I want to sacrifice. The problem would be if this bishop got to F4. Like, I want to do all this before bishop D6. But actually, I feel like this is even... I'd go so far as to say threat. Maybe I just work around it. I don't know. Let's just come back here. Alright, H3. Knight F6. Take. I think I've played that position before. Almost. I might have. Interesting stuff. I want G3. I want to force G3. G3 would be great. Knight D2 seeks to replace. Okay. That's a concession for sure. I don't even need this move, I don't think. Let's play knight f6 and bring the rook. Now I want to take it. Do I think that stronger players tend to wait to decide which way to castle when they face the von Hennig, Alapin, von Popiel if they don't know the theory? Yes. It's a very good point. A lot of them do. They don't want to run into... They're aware of this idea, and they don't want to run into that, so they keep me guessing. But it's very hard to just recommend that because you're keeping your king in the center. Where it's also vulnerable. It's just like, oh, you could leave at a moment's notice, you know? So it's a little tricky like that. Anyway, I'm trying to take this bishop and then eat this. I mean, knight d5 would be the move, right? Because the pawn's no longer on g2. But they're trying to fortify everything and everyone. I just watched the Queen's Gambit series. She plays chess after taking some pills to calm her mind. Do real chess players usually do that? No. No. I don't know what the pills were. I don't recall what the pills were supposed to be exactly. But, no, to my knowledge. I am a caffeine person, but like in life. In general. But that's all I would say there. F5 takes. Maybe. Trade. Now, there is stuff out there, you know, that claims to boost cognitive performance and all that stuff. I know this is, like, I'm honestly surprised this isn't more of a thing. I know in esports this is a big thing. In esports. Huh. Okay, I'll play f5. They actually do have this move, knight takes f5. It's actually really random. But like takes c6 check. Just occurred to me. I don't want to trade queens, bro. What am I doing here? Alright. So if there takes... F5, they still have knight takes. It's actually a really annoying move. I guess we're trading. Queen 6. That's all I can do. To dodge the queen trade. No queen... Yeah. There's not much to think about here. You're just down a piece in this position, right? Oh, yeah, because, shoot, this is still check, right? It's check. I don't have rook e1 there. What's happening here? Take... It's not enough. No, my opponent's defended very solidly, honestly. Let's finally get off of this diagonal. Ooh, this just feels right. I mean, f6 is a good move here, but this feels like there should be some trouble. I don't know. I didn't calculate anything at all. I didn't calculate anything whatsoever. I just feel like there's some resources. The biggest problem is going to be my back rank. Oh, not a good start. Now it's definitely working. Where did you need to go? You need to go to F1. You need to go to F1. Then I was going to go check here. Yeah, not looking too hot. Not looking too hot. I'm sorry about that. Gambits forever. The Gambit glasses claim another victim. The Bushcast Gambit. Yeah, my opponent played that really well. Like, really well, if you ask me. And they were solid. But then they went for e5 before finishing that development. But I think they didn't have to do that. I don't know if it was like going to be completely solid. Like, I was still going to try to strike at that. But e5 gave me the opportunity to sacrifice a piece. And then just win stuff. You got me with the check. When was the last time I cried after an IRL chess match? I don't know when was the last time I cried, period. Was the last time I cried in a chess match? I've been like really like very upset with myself, but when that happens, I just don't really talk. I just like go to my room and just like stare at a wall. I just totally blank. Last time I cried. So, I vividly recall the last round of 4th grade nationals when I could have won that last round against Tommy O'Hee and gone back to back. And I blundered. I remember crying there, but that couldn't have been the last time. I was 10. Do you know what? Was it tears for it say? In Armenia, this would be autumn 2021. This would be about 4 years ago. The last round of the Yerevan Open, which was already not a great tournament for me. I was on 3.5 out of 8. And then I was playing down in the last round. And then I lost. So that was like really not a good tournament. And I took the quarter off from UChicago because I was going to abroad to play chess because I wanted to make FIDE Master. And so my first tournament, my trainer was there in Armenia, and this was supposed to be on the up, and it was just a terrible tournament. And I remember I didn't play the tournament after. I just stayed in Armenia to train. And, you know, a few weeks later, I went to Budapest. I played, you know, I was there for a month. I just played a few tournaments, and I gained over 100 rating points there. I was just so locked in. I was playing so well. I was so much better than I am now 4 years ago. But I remember how crushed I was after the 9th round in Armenia, but I just turned that upsetness into something good, you know, into motivation to work hard, and I made it happen. I mean, I know it sounds cliche, but... Okay, c3. c3 was good. I have to commend c3 here. This is one of those annoying chess.com pages. Okay. Yeah, c3 and d4. The engine quite likes this. So this is a fun line out of the Bushcast Gambit. This is a fun line out of the Bushgas Gambit, right? So they take our pawn. A lot of times, of course, they take the knight that we challenge them with, opening the bishop and the queen, though. So the Stafford capture has a lot of benefits for black, so a lot of white players try to deny it. Preparing d4, so we need to strike immediately with d5 to prevent that. They got to take it. Queen takes. We add another defender here, and c3. Most people play knight c3, which drives the queen straight to h5. But pawn c3, so now after this, we just have this structure, which we could have had like in any order. Like you could have played d4 now, the long castle, same pin here, right? Pawn c3, really nice use of the extra pawn, pretty rare. Here I play bishop d6, and the position should be really good for white if they find h3. So I'm trying to keep the bishop away from f4, where if it lands there, I feel like I lose this diagonal forever. But I like my little setup here. I use this actually in a bunch of lines, in like the Von Hennig Gambit, for example, queen e1, queen h4, with the bishop here, looking at h7. I like this a lot. I mean, we try to take the knight here and get here, and if h3 comes off and we sacrifice. Here, just specifically, white's fine after takes. They have knight g5, and then, yeah, I mean, this is just plenty of resources here. I can't come back because this is check. This is check, so I don't have queen h2 here. Otherwise, they would just take my bishop after my queen moves. So we're losing there. h3, yeah, they're all good. I think I've played this position before. Knight f6, actually. Yeah, you can't even take it. Knight takes g4. I think I've played this position here. Yeah, I'm still looking at getting in the bishop h2 check, and then some stuff here. So it's very hard for white to play this perfectly. But anyway, g3, knight f6. So g3 is a concession. You need h3, and you need to see that bishop takes pawn would be okay, which is tough. So g3 now gives me something to play with here, but I think you defended this pretty well. Knight h4, really good move. Really good move, knight h4, because I'm putting a lot of pressure on this bishop. I want it to move into play rook takes and then eat this knight. But now it jumps away, knight h4, and then it's like, okay, stuff just needs to kind of trade. And I dodge it, but here, you're like, now your extra pawn's looking real good. But here's the time where it's like, okay, I got my extra pawn. It's time to bring out my pieces before I start overextending. Because e5 here is asking for like f6 or some sort of sacrifice. But if you had pieces out, it might have been different, right? So you know, don't be going for this stuff. I would say when your king's a little open and you're not fully developed yet, when you don't have to. So e5. Now I'm trying to force the issue. Okay, you need to find this move knight d2, which is very difficult. The point is I can't move my knight because you would take my rook and then checkmate me or something. So that's the only reason it was okay. But after takes, this is queen f1. You're struggling to hang on here. The engine likes it more. It thinks about it. Check here, check here. Lots of stuff coming. But yeah, queen f1 was necessary. Queen f2, of course, loses the game immediately. I win the queen here. But queen f1, take, check. This is the line here, check. So if bishop c5 here, then you're just toasted, right? Check and queen h1. So that's not fun. Knight g2 force then. Oh my goodness, look at this filthy tactic, bishop takes g3. That's so nice, because if pawn takes, I have check and winning your queen. If queen takes, check. Knight e1, rook e8, and then you pick it off. Yeah, I mean, the lack of development here is brutal, right? Even this position you're losing. You're up 2 knights at this exact moment, but you're just so tied down. Even after the queens and everything go off, you're just so stuck. And I'm pushing these pawns, so I win. -2. That's actually so funny. How do you untangle here? You need to bring the king all the way here to move the knight. But then the pawn would just go. Anyway, the game here on the queen. Oh, GG. All right, y'all. All right. So, full Gambit repertoire. Go to the link tree. You're on YouTube right now. Go to my link tree. Any Gambit you want. Any opening, like you don't like facing the London. You don't like facing e4, e5. You don't like facing the Caro. Whatever it may be, here's those moves. Here's a Gambit. That full repertoire. Like Chessable, but for free. Like Chessable, but for free. Full repertoire right there. And then other games and such with it. So, yeah. I come up with these. Or my community comes up with them. Join that community in the Discord there. Awesome stuff. Share games. Opening ideas. And get notified when I go live on Twitch and on YouTube. I appreciate you all. I will see you guys in the next stream. Subscribe here so you get notified when I'm back.